Hello, my name is Sarah. Welcome to the It is a Sarah podcast. Today it is Monday, September 29, 2025, and in this episode I want to share my handwerk perikelen. That's a Dutch word for my creative adventures from this week with you. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk, so that's the perfect combination for making this podcast. I make my episodes in Dutch and in English, so be sure you pick the right one. Last week I slayed my third dragon of this month. Today is the celebration of Michaelmas, perfect timing. I won't deep dive in it. If you want to learn more about Michaelmas and slaying dragons, you can find all the information on the internet. I learned it at the Waldorf school of my kids. I'm really happy. It was a big task to do. I keep my yarns all in the same spot of our living room. There was a little bit of a lost corner in our living room, and many years ago my husband made there a beautiful cabinet desk. It's a combination, I guess, in which we can store a lot of stuff which is visible, so it looks nice and cozy. Messy cozy, I guess. I love messy cozy. In the beginning years, when our kids were small, their crafting stuff was mainly stored there, but a few years ago I owned it more and more, and now it's mainly the place where I keep my yarn stash. I put all my beautiful yarns on the shelves, and every time I passed that cabinet I had a heart jumping moment, and believe me, I cross that cabinet more than 100 times a day. It's a very central spot in our living room, so that are a lot of heart jumping moments. I was not the only one enjoying those beautiful yarns, because since a few years we have moths. I don't like sharing my yarn stash, so I put all my yarns in plastic, which is not looking as adorable as it was, but it protects my yarn a little bit from those tiny moths. They can come everywhere, but I love to make it as hard as possible for them. Yeah, so it's looking a little bit less cozy than it used to be, but still my yarn is there, and knowing that is enough to have a heart jumping moment. It needed to be reorganized. I had a system, but it didn't fit anymore. So I went to IKEA to bought a lot of plastic boxes and a lovely cute cabinet. That was not planned, but I saw it and it was love at first sight. And then I started to reorganize all my yarns. It was quite a job. When I finally was home alone for a short time, I put it all out of the cabinet and it was quite overwhelming. I filmed it a little bit, but I didn't have much time. But I can tell you now that it's back in boxes, it fits, it's organized. I sorted it on yarn weights, so I can find the yarns pretty easy when I'm looking for a certain pattern. I know now I have a lot of yarn, and I have a lot of single yarn skeins and yarn balls, a lot of scrappy yarn, so I can enjoy myself coming months with a lot of color work, stripy projects, scrappy projects, and I love that. So I don't think it's really necessary to enjoy myself coming months with buying new yarns. It feels as if I don't want to at the moment, but I don't know how long that feeling will last. I know how it works. I'm an addict, so yeah. There were no surprises in my yarn stash. I know pretty good what I own, and it was really lovely to cherish everything what I own again, to have it in my hands, and to dream of all the ideas, all the things I can make with it. Hello! I discovered a project I totally forgot the existence of. I feel a little bit ashamed because I love this project. It's my crochet project. It is my Lowrider Cardigan, a pattern by Claudine Powell from The Iron Lamp. She's a crochet designer and I love her designs and her style. The Lowrider jumper was on my wish list for quite a while. And now I'm finally crocheting it. Although I was crocheting it, the process dropped. I am working with a yarn which was gifted to me by Lang Yarn. This is Lang Yarn's Regina. And it's a mix of cotton, alpaca, silk and wool. I'm not a big alpaca fan. I don't know, it's a bit slippery to me. I can't really describe what is wrong for me with alpaca. Of course there's nothing wrong with alpaca, but that slippery feeling, I get this feeling. And yeah, I feel it in this one too, but it's only a little bit, and crocheting is different than knitting. I really like to work with this yarn. It's a DK weight yarn. Oh, here it is. I am using my 3.5mm crochet hook, which is one of my favorite sizes. I am further than I thought, because I think my body is long enough. I will add knitted ribbing. That's not in a pattern, it's a 100% crochet pattern, but I really love to combine my crochet with my knitting. I think it's long enough. There's also an option for adding granny squares, and although I love granny squares, I don't want to do it. I want it to be plain green. So I think I will add quite a long border for ribbing, but I'm not sure. So I just break my yarn and start with the sleeves. I want to wear this cardigan closed. I don't want it to be too long. There will be a knitted button band at the front too. I don't want it to be too long, so if I want a knitted border, I think I have the right length right now. I will make long sleeves. I'm doing a little bit different than the pattern is telling me. The pattern says to skip some stitches. I'm making size medium. The pattern told me to skip stitches in the corners because it's a raglan construction, and you separate for the sleeves, and now you join the yarn again. It's so easy with crochet, much easier than with knitting. But in the corners I needed to skip. I think I needed to skip this part. I shouldn't crochet this little crochet group here, but I didn't like the look of the holes, so I decided to crochet a granny stitch anyway, and started decreasing immediately. Normally you crochet some rows and then you decrease, but I will add a decrease row immediately. I think that works best for me. Lovely pattern, and I'm really motivated to pick it up again. This is my Lowrider cardigan, and I love to finish this cardigan with a knit 2 purl 2 ribbing. That's not in the pattern. The pattern is 100% crochet, but I love the combination of my two favorite stitches, the granny stitch and the knit 2 purl 2. And I accidentally discovered this lovely little edge. It looks a little bit like a slip stitch, and I think it's a very nice border in between the granny stitch and the knit 2 purl 2. So for the ribbing at the bottom, I turned my work. I picked up stitches while the wrong side was facing me. Normally I do that with the right side facing me. This is how it normally looks. And this is how it looks now. And I will try to show you how I do it. I will knit the border at the front right now, and I need to pick up stitches all around. This is a V-shaped cardigan, and for a V-shaped cardigan you pick up stitches for the right front, and then for the back neck, and then for the left front, all the way down below, and you will knit the whole border back and forth in one time. That's different from a crew neck. I love V-shaped necklines because of that. Before I will pick up stitches with my knitting needle, I will crochet 1 row of single crochets in US English and double crochet in UK English. I hope I'm correct right now. It's always a bit confusing. I only have a little bit yarn left from binding off the stitches for the body part. I will crochet this yarn away. Of course, it's nice to use what you have, but also I don't want to attach a new yarn in this little corner because I want it as smooth as possible. I crocheted the stitches in this knitted part. It's always a bit playing around to check what's the best amount of stitches. You don't want it to be too tight, you also don't want it to be too flowy. I think I'm okay. What I did now is crochet 1 stitch, skip 1 knit stitch, crochet 1 stitch, skip 1 knit stitch. To keep this knit to column, it is always very important when you start knitting the ribbing, you begin your row with 3 knit stitches instead of 2, and also end your row with 3 knit stitches, because 1 stitch will disappear in the picking up stitches. Doesn't matter if you are knitting or crochet, you will pick up stitches in the first one and the other will disappear. In the beginning I didn't know, so I ended with some beautiful ribbing, but 1 knit stitch column in the beginning and in the end, and the rest was knit 2 purl 2. So I'm always very proud when I think of the knit 3 in the beginning and the end. Now I will crochet some stitches in the crochet fabric. It is different, and again it's a little bit playing around. I always try and check what works out the best. Sometimes I need to go back and forward a few times before I'm happy with how it looks. It is a challenge to find the perfect balance between stretch and straighten, so let's see. I think I found a good rhythm. It is a little bit stretchy, but not too much. What I did, you have those holes, those big holes. These are the beginning of every row. When you start a row, you always crochet some chains to get the right height. Normally, for this stitch, you need to crochet 3 chains. I always do 2 because it looks a little bit neater to me. But in those holes, which actually are counting as 3 stitches, I crochet 2 stitches. So that means I crochet 2 stitches for every 4 stitches. So what I will do now is finish this whole row of stitches all around, and I will come back to you with my knitting needles. I have these yarn ends. They started here, I guess. I crocheted around them. I took them with me as I go, and so they are catched in those stitches, so I can just cut it off, so I don't have to weave them in. For the back of the neck, I just crochet 1 stitch in every stitch. That's what you always do when you are picking up stitches horizontal in the width and not in the length. Then the ratio is just 1 to 1, 1 stitch in every stitch. You do it that way with your knitting and also with your crochet. Okay, I finished the row of single crochets or double ones, what you prefer. In Dutch we call them vasten. Now it's time to pick up the stitches with my knitting needle. I didn't break the yarn, it's not necessary. This is the loop of the crochet stitch and I will insert my knitting needle in it, so you don't need to weave in extra yarn ends, and also there will not be a knot right here. Normally when I pick up stitches for knitting, you always do that with the right side facing you, but when I would pick up those stitches with the right side facing, my lovely border would be on the wrong side, and I want it to be at the right side. So today I will pick up stitches with the wrong side facing me. So let's go. I pick up 1 stitch in every crochet stitch, because with this row of single crochet or double crochets I already have the right balance, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio, and it makes it very easy because you can insert your needle very easy into the stitch and pull your yarn through, and you get this nice ridge of V's, little V's. I love them. So let's see if I can show it close. Those crochet stitches, it is a row of little V's. When you insert your needle, it is important you catch both legs of the V. That way the whole stitch will flip around and you get this nice little edge. Okay, all the stitches are on the needle. They are on quite a small cable, so as you can see it's very busy on the needle. It's a little bit hard to show this little ridge, but it is there. Now it's time to knit the ribbing. I will knit 2 purl 2. Also for this one I will start with 3 knit stitches. Right side is facing now, so 3 knit stitches, and then start the purl 2 knit 2 rhythm, and also end with 3 knit stitches. I don't have to pick up stitches in this part anymore, but the first stitch of the ribbing, it will also be a little bit hidden. And so when I knit 3, there will be enough body for a knit 2 column. I will make afterthought buttonholes. It is really hard to see this way where I need to place my buttons, and so where I need to knit my buttonholes. Of course I can add a longer cable, so then that problem will be fixed, but I don't want to do that. I want to knit. And in this yarn there's enough space to create a hole for afterthought buttons, so I will do that. And then I want to pick up stitches. I will frog the ribbing for the sleeves, and I want to pick up stitches the same way as I did for this part, because I want this nice little edge on the sleeves too. So end is near, finished object around the corner. Hello, hello! This is a happy moment and an unhappy moment at the same time, because the happy moment is you are standing on my new cabinet, and that's actually a perfect filming spot. Let me show it to you. The other thing I'm very happy about is that I just discovered a new color combination. My Haust cardigan together with this linen dress. I didn't think of the combination of those 2 garments before. I was organizing my stuff and I was wearing my orange dress, and then I was putting my pink Haust cardigan on my clothing rack, and I realized, oh, this could be a lovely color combination. I'm feeling like one of my saltstone lights right now, and I really love those. So the thing I'm not so happy of, and I actually want to talk about that, is I think I discovered a mistake in my Lowrider cardigan. I was quite close to finish it. Last step before I could block it. I really want to show it on the podcast Monday, which I think you are watching right now. It is Saturday today. Let me grab it. I showed you how I created this lovely border, and I already finished the ribbing of the sleeves, but I wanted that lovely border there too, so I made it for this one, and I just picked up the stitches for the second sleeve and I filmed it for you. But there was something with the sleeve. I was feeling something was wrong, but I had no idea what was wrong, and suddenly I knew. The sleeve has quite a wide border. I always decrease my stitches to a certain amount. I love the ribbing of the sleeve to be narrow, not too narrow, but also not too wide. And for DK weight garments, I quite often go to 40 stitches. I know now because I just counted several garments. 40 stitches is my go-to for the ribbing for the sleeves. This ribbing has 48 stitches, so I forgot to do some decreases after picking up the stitches. So that's 8 stitches too much, and that's what I was feeling. It is off, it is wider than I normally do. I don't know if it's a problem yet. I will try on the cardigan, check how it feels, and if I'm lucky, I'm okay with 48 stitches for the ribbing, and if I'm not, I have to reknit this one again, third time. Okay, it is not okay. I was afraid of that. Yeah, you can see it, I guess. I have a little bit of the sleeve of my dress under it, but this is just too wide. I picked up the stitches in a 1-to-1 ratio, and this is just too wide for me to feel as a nice ribbing of my sleeve. I want it to snug a little bit more around my wrist, only a little bit more. 8 stitches less would be perfect. I already knew that, but I didn't think of it. So, yeah, in Dutch we would say, helaas pindakaas. I have to redo this part of the ribbing again. Lucky me, I didn't knit 2 ribbings. So, yeah. Almost finished, but a little delayed. It is lovely. So I have a finished object, or actually it's an almost finished object. Buttons are missing. This cardigan needed much more time to dry after blocking than I planned and expected. So there was no time left to add the buttonholes before filming this episode. I will do that later this week. I must confess, I would love it as an open-fronted cardigan too, but I think this cardigan will not end on my clothing rack. One of my girls really fell in love with this cardigan, and she did a quick fit and it looked adorable on her. So I think it will be her cardigan. She prefers to wear it closed. Yeah, I'm very happy. I love the detail in the front. I just noticed that this slip stitch is exactly the same as the bind off stitch. I always bind off my stitches for the button band knitwise because I really love this lovely row of little V's. I don't do that for sleeves, and quite often also not for the bottom part because it is a little bit more tight. For the button bands I love the tighter bind off because it holds it up a little bit, but I don't want this to be tight and this to be tight. But this is really a lovely decorative bind off. It matches. So yeah, that was a heart jumping moment too. I absolutely recommend this pattern. It comes in 2 versions. They are both English, but one is with the UK crochet terms and the other one is with the US crochet terms. And you can get them both when you buy the pattern. There are 2 download versions. I'm really happy with this cardigan. So happy that I picked some yarn to make another one. When I was organizing my yarn stash, I noticed I have a lot of scrappy yarns, single yarn balls, single skeins. So I feel very motivated to make some scrappy projects. I thought, let's make a scrappy lowrider cardigan. I have a lot of different colors, which I like. And yeah, I think I will cast on one immediately. I really love to have a crochet project with granny stitch on my needles. Quite often those are granny squares or granny stripes. But making a garment is actually also very nice, and especially because this one will not belong to me after today, I thought I want one my own. So yeah, I will do that and I will enjoy the granny pattern again. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, this was it for today. If you are also slaying dragons in September, I wish you a lot of luck on the last day of September. I did do all my dragons, I organized my works in progress, I organized my yarn stash, and I casted on my thrifted cardigan, my colorwork cardigan. I am still busy battling with that one. It absolutely went wrong this weekend. So it's not really slayed yet. It will happen in October and I will tell you all about it in another episode. I wish you a lovely week filled with a lot of heart jumping moments. If you can't find them, create them because we need them. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!